Baking pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
It's 11:59 on Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, we've got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every night, every weeknight at midnight Eastern, or maybe a little bit later. For about an hour each night, we talk about guns. And we have a conversation. We run it over on YouTube. We simulcast it at gunchannels.com. And we got Angelina joining in from California. Thanks for jumping in.
Hello. And we have G-Webs in Tucson. Thanks for joining us too.
Oh, look at that. That worked well.
That worked.
Smeggy never did anything like that.
I was just trying to make it more of like a conversation instead of you talking and then awkwardly like me with my dick in my hand type thing.
The audience might be wondering why we're sitting in these lazy boy recliners today instead of the usual studio, and that's because we're going to have just shoot the shit session tonight, and I'm going to throw a couple of topics out there, and we'll let the audience decide which one we're going to talk about. And I'll let Angelina pick one. So I'll come up with the first two, and then Angelina will give you the third one, and then the audience out there will help us decide what we're going to talk about in those three topics. So the first one is tiny guns. All right, little tiny guns.
Okay.
The next one is, will the robot war happen on Earth or in space?
Okay.
And then yours is the third one.
So I just pick a topic I want to discuss.
Yeah.
That's a mistake.
So we'll let the audience see what's going on out there. We got 15 people watching, 5 thumbs. So we're about third good tonight. We're doing okay, but not that great.
I'm thinking of a topic.
Maybe if you came up with a topic, we get more thumbs, but there's no way to know. There's people throwing suggestions out there.
All right, what are their suggestions? Let me see if...
There's a fun fact from Pants. This is a fun pants fact. If you buy a Milsurp rifle and let it sit inside your 95-degree car all day while you're at work, your car will smell like gasoline.
Oh, that's great. That's like an air freshener.
Mm-hmm. Now you know. And
okay, I have a topic.
Okay.
My topic is driving manual transmissions.
How's that have anything to do with guns? Is this a daily gun show or merely daily?
It doesn't, but I feel like it's kind of okay. So I got in this conversation yesterday about how nobody knows how to drive a manual transmission, but okay. I know how.
All right. Well, so I guess that'll be our first one. So yeah, of course everybody knows how.
No, but okay. So I don't think that everybody knows how. I think people like my age don't really know how, because when I asked a couple people, they said no. And then I asked like on Facebook, and of course everyone's saying yes, and nobody is saying no, because they're probably ashamed because they're idiots. But yeah, so do you know how to drive a manual transmission?
You learn how to drive a manual first, and then you learn how to drive a standard.
I feel like it's easier the other way.
Well, yeah, that's why you learn it the other way around. But I guess you can do it the other way.
Well, actually, I'm saying it's easier the other way, but my first experience driving a car, other than my dad's like hot rods, because he needed someone to move it, so he would like train me to drive at a young age. But he made me drive home from marching band practice in this Toyota truck he had that was a stick shift. So he was explaining to me how to drive a stick shift, but I was just finished with marching band practice, and it was like late and dark, and I was tired, and that car wasn't very easy to like clutch and shift. So that was a traumatic thing for me. But yeah, after I learned how to drive a car like a normal car, then it was a breeze.
Well, okay. I mean, I think people are, I don't know. So, what was the question though? Just do you know how to drive a manual?
Do you know how to drive a manual? Does our audience know how to drive a manual?
So far, HES is the only one that's even participating. He says he's not good at it, but he knows how. It takes like 3 gears, and then you know how to drive it. Have problems with them.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
Have problems with a really unique one or something.
I used to have a Jetta, and when I test drove it, I didn't realize that to put it in reverse, you like push it in. Like there's like a hidden reverse. So I'm trying to back up on a test drive, and I have no idea how to put this thing into fucking reverse. So the guy had to come from the dealership and show me.
Pretty much everybody on the gun channels or on the YouTube side is saying that they learned how to drive on a manual. Maybe that's just the way it was done back in the day.
Back in the day. All right, well, I think we solved that one.
All right, well, so I'm not able to get to gun channels right now, so I don't know what's going on. Internet's
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
As soon as we started talking about Skynet, boom, gun channels goes down. Oh, that's good. So, tiny guns.
Tiny guns, they are all off roster here in California, so I don't get to own a tiny gun.
I think you're thinking of a small gun, but a tiny gun would be like 2mm pinfire, 4mm pinfire, whatever it is.
Oh, like a super tiny gun.
The word definition of the word tiny gun. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Small thing. Any interest?
Yeah, actually, I like things in miniature, so I do like little guns.
Oh, I'm sorry, because of dollhouses.
Oh no, I actually wasn't into like dollhouses and shit as a child. I was into RoboCop and Ghostbusters.
I'm wondering if the dollhouse furnitures include things like trophy mounts for the walls and gun rooms and safes and vaults. And
they don't, but maybe now in progressive 2018 America, they will. Anyway, so these little guns, I mean, are they legal in California?
That's a good question. I have no idea. Let's assume not, because there's probably something about the size, and it doesn't matter what kind. For the most part, though, if you're talking the 2mm pinfires, it's 2mm, right? 4mm would be a 22 or almost 22. So 2mm pinfires are pinfires, so they're not modern detonation. So typically they're considered like black powder would be, because they still have a combustion chemical to make the thing go off as opposed to just compressed air. So I just don't know what the California laws are where they draw the line. Some of the more infringing states draw the line at air rifles. Heck, some of them probably spring rifles, right? So I'm not sure where they would consider a pinfire, but most of the states would not consider the tiny guns that are in pinfire a gun at all because of the not called, what is it called? It's not called antique firing mechanism. It's like modern firing mechanism. So yeah, they're going to fall into just the definition of a interesting machine that happens to make a lot of noise and potentially shoots a little tiny projectile.
I mean, I always assume like if it's cool, it's probably illegal.
But there's quite a few people now making just small things, especially now with the new social media platforms and whatnot, that people can share their hobbies and their projects and stuff. And where somebody might have done something once just as a project or just as a little piece of art, or I don't know what you want to call it, you know, they can share it. And if they get encouragement, they maybe go on to do more of them. And then that spurs the idea to have more people do it. So either more people, there might have just been people doing it a lot back in the day, and no one just knew about it so much, or just the people that shared it in like the little newsletters that go out. But I think we're seeing a lot. I see a lot of it on Instagram. Not too much on the YouTube though. Have you seen any YouTube videos of tiny guns?
I not recently. I don't think. I think that was something that I'd watched in the past.
There's like one where the tiny little gun shoots a soda can and knocks a hole in it.
Oh yeah, and there's a guy on Instagram that I follow. I like his account. He makes little tiny guns. I don't know if they shoot though, but they're pretty.
Well, there's a couple of them. So I don't know if it needs to shoot to be a tiny gun, because there are some really neat little just miniatures that, like one of the guys I follow on Instagram, I follow maybe 3 or 4 that do it on like show pictures of tiny guns on a regular basis. That they'll put them next to a nickel or a dime. They're pretty small, but
Yeah, it's like that.
Guns and little like replicas, like little miniature replicas, and then there's some that are. The firing ones usually aren't replicas. The firing ones usually are just like kind of pistol-ish shape or revolver-ish shape or Derringer-ish shape. And then they kind of look goofy because the chambers are they look like micro machines. They're kind of proportioned funny.
Miniature Gunsmith, that's who it is. Miniature Gunsmith.
Yeah, is that the one in Italy? I know he's overseas somewhere.
He is overseas somewhere. He made a Tokarev 2mm pinfire pistol.
Is that
and
another?
He's got a YouTube video too. Oh, and he hashtags gun channels.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that I've been tagging for a while, so I'm sure they're tagging stuff. And every once in a while, Marco will tag them, or repost them, so that people use the hashtag gun channels for that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Well, anyway, I've been following his build, so I like it. All right, so have you ever seen one of these pinfires in real life shoot?
Oh yeah, I have a couple of them, so I've shot them. They're about $6 a shot to shoot them, so I don't shoot them a lot, but I do shoot them. So, or I have shot all of them at least. They're a lot of fun. They're a little weird because you have to kind of shoot them with your fingertips, but they're neat.
That's awesome. So do you just buy them on eBay or something, or?
Sorry, I'm typing and talking at the same time. The sources are usually you can get them right from the source from the people that custom make the tiny ones, and those are the most expensive options, and they usually look the best. And then your next level down is I don't even want to call them mass produced, but the ones that are obtainable, which are hundreds of dollars. The best ones are really expensive. The medium ones are like hundreds of dollars, and then there's the inexpensive ones that sometimes cost a lot. Just have to kind of shop around and wait for them to be inexpensive, and they'll get down to the $100 ish. So they're not inexpensive. But anyway, eBay is a good source. And Gunbroker, I can't say I've ever really searched for them on Gunbroker. Back in the day, I used to, and they're just never really there. So I'm thinking they're more of an eBay thing. But I'm thinking there's probably other sources out there. There must be a forum or two devoted to them, which might be a great source too. I think they're probably like knives, where a manufacturer will make like a batch of them, and then those will exist, and the collectors will be aware of them, and a certain amount of collectors will own them right off the bat, and then some go out into the market and are sought after, sort of like a batch of knives would be. And I bet you the forums will track those and keep track of who has them and how much they're going for, and give you advice on the direction to go get them, or what a good price is. I've seen some that you can buy for $60 occasionally if you keep your eyes out. And especially if you know what you're looking for and you see them at a gun show or something, you can get them really inexpensive. But then you go online, like to an eBay or something, and they'll be, consistently there for 3 times markup, $300 or something. And, that's where the forums can be useful to guide you from making that kind of mistake.
All right, well, sweet. I mean, I kind of want one off to see if they're legal in California. Anyway, so what's our next topic?
Our next topic would be, I was going to ask, would you, if you were going to get a tiny one, would you get a Derringer, like single shot thing? Or something like a little semi-auto or a revolver or something that's got a little bit more stuff
I like
to
a
it.
little revolver. Yeah, a little revolver.
They're usually bigger. So to get smaller, you have to get simpler, kind of obviously, because the bullets do the same size once you get down there. But there are
Well,
some.
yeah, but I mean, I'm only gonna shoot it like 3 times a year. It's not going in my pocket. It's just some little like fucking gun for me to be all into.
So there's the ones that what's his face keeps shooting on Instagram and on YouTube, I think also, where they're like not just miniatures but real working miniatures, and they go so far as to make tiny ammunition for them. So in other words, like little tiny, I mean, like it's for the size of Barbie dolls, maybe a little bit bigger scale than that, but working full auto guns with like suppressors and stuff. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't seen those. They sound cool.
We should probably go find that on YouTube. So I'm gonna go look for that. But then there's another full auto that's pretty neat.
I really want like a small revolver with orange grips.
Oh, like one of the NAAs?
Mm-hmm.
I think they made the Pug grip in orange, which is the best grip, and then you'd have it in orange.
Yeah, I mean, like
I don't know if this copyrights people or not. Is this guy going to copyright us? We'll find out, I guess.
We'll find out.
Dude over in Russia. Delta dude.
Oh, he's probably cool.
Delta dude over in Russia shooting a miniature AK, I think. I don't know what the hell. Got the 45. So that was a little 45. But all we care about is the thing.
Oh, you care about that Tommy gun?
All right, we just watch this one. It's gonna be in slow motion though.
Meat Freeze original. The Thompson.
So these are the ones that really cost a lot of money, the most money.
Oh, damn, look at that. Ugh, so awesome. Look at that thing.
I don't like his the way his grip is on that one. So
was that like a little tiny Beretta?
that's neat. That's a little tiny suppressed AK platform looking thing, little tiny Mosin. So this is the one I want to see him shoot. But is he gonna or what? There it is. So that's the neat one.
Extremely cool. And the suppressors worked as advertised.
See, awesome. Little suppressor, little grenade launcher. I think they showed him shooting a little grenade launcher.
Another thing that impressed.
So turns out they don't just let you shoot those guns. So you don't really just get to go shoot them. But they make them for like sheiks, stuff like that.
I wish I had one.
I don't know if anybody out there has seen what the prices are, but let us know if you know what the prices are on them.
What do you think it is?
Oh, I know they're like 30 grand or something. They're really,
shit.
I mean, I just don't remember exactly, but they're outrageously expensive. It's like sheiks and stuff that are buying them as toys. For monkeys.
Gold AK owners?
For monkeys. Like, let's say you had a bunch of monkeys. Why wouldn't you want to give them a bunch of little AKs that are full auto with suppressors?
There's a video on YouTube of that where they give a monkey an AK and then it can start shooting it.
It's fake. That was for the movie Planet of the Apes or something. But it was pretty well done, and that's what it would look like. Except,
was that really fake, or are you just saying that?
Oh no, super fake. That was for the movie. They did like a viral, make it look like it's done with a camcorder type of commercials.
Oh.
They were so subtle that that's what happened. Everybody was like, "Oh, look at this thing! What happens if a monkey picks up an AK?"
Oh, I really liked it.
I'm really waiting for an anti to be like, "This is why AKs are so bad. Even a monkey can work one." Because at least at this point, monkeys only use them to stick in the ground and pick ants out of anthills.
Right.
I'm
Well,
big-
until it gets a little Tommy gun like that.
No, I'm talking. So you're talking apes. I keep getting reprimanded every time I make the conflation or whatever. So,
Who's reprimanding you?
oh no, I'm talking from back in the day. Back in before we used to have male hosts, and they would get all Z would have a fit. So, the tiny monkeys with the tail, the good kinds, like if the kinds that are gonna go get stuff for you, like
Okay.
you might have
Not
like
the ones that are gonna like rip your dick off.
no, the tiny monkeys. They're little, so maybe the size of like a small dog.
Okay.
Have like maybe 6 to 12 of these monkeys laying around, so that you know everything you need. Like, hey, I left my cigarettes over there. Monkey goes gets them. Or like, hey, is this ice gonna, is this drink gonna get ice by itself? No, little monkey's gonna go get the ice for you.
So basically, it's a slave.
No, because they're happy to do it, and they're monkeys. And you're gonna give them full auto AKs or those 1911s maybe.
Are you giving them like bullets or just?
Yeah.
All right.
My monkeys are gonna be responsible.
I feel like your monkeys might be irresponsible, but
Well, keep in line.
they've not proved it yet, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Turns out it's really difficult to get monkeys in Arizona, but I guess we still don't have gun channels, so I don't know what happened. Somebody broke gun channels. We'll figure out what happened over there. We'll know.
Where's Bob?
No, he's not even in here tonight.
Probably rascaling around.
All right, well, so the last subject for tonight then would be, will the robot war happen on Earth or in space?
Earth, definitely Earth.
So because we will not have gotten to space yet?
Well, I mean, we're in space right now, or are we saying that space is a soundstage on Disney Studios?
All right, well, let me make it more clear. When is the robot war going to happen when the population of Earthlings is still stuck on the Earth, or when we've expanded and have satellite colonies and maybe colonies on the moon or Mars?
Oh no, we are still stuck on the Earth.
So the robot war is going to be more of a Matrix / Terminator situation than a, I don't know, whatever movies happen up in space where the robots turn against people. Battlestar Galactica.
Well, I've never seen Battlestar Galactica. It wasn't that a TV show?
Come on, it was a TV show and it was like a miniseries, and they kind of made movies, I guess, if you call movies that go to cable movies. But yeah, it was a bunch of stuff. Probably a video game.
Just
The
title just really puts me off.
Battlestar Galactica? So
yeah, because it sounds like something that a bunch of guys watch and talk about. And that's basically what it is.
I don't know if anybody ever sat around talking about that show. At least not anybody I know. But it's where the human race has gone off into the stars. And I think it's to the point where they forget where Earth is. Like it's a long time in the future. Then a bunch of robots, asshole robots, come along and try to take out the human race, or maybe everybody, I think. I don't remember. And then it's down to like the Earth was all the Earthlings were living on a bunch of planets and a bunch of colonies and a bunch of spaceships. These robots come in and kill everything. And there's only one spaceship, or like one spaceship and a couple of ragtag fleet of other spaceships. And that's all that's left of the human race. So they don't have a place to call their own. They don't remember where Earth was really. They just have their like old stories about it. So it's kind of a neat situation. And then giant spaceships that they live on are kind of like countries. They're kind of like they each have their own flavor, and the stories go on for 4 or 5 seasons or something. So there's a lot of characters in it. And then there's a whole thing about it. But basically the gist of it is the humans are on the run from these space robots, which are actually created by humans. So we brought it on ourselves. But that would be the difference between that one and something like a Terminator or a Matrix.
I think it's definitely going to be like a Terminator.
All right. So why is this so definite? And how come we don't have any other co-hosts? There's nobody else here who can handle these kind of topics?
Here's why we don't have any other co-hosts, because nobody really
Second Amendment really cares about Second Amendment deep down.
No one cares about the Second Amendment, and they dislike us. So that's fine.
I yell at them every time the show's over. For like an hour, I yell at them, and they still don't want to be co-hosts.
I guess they don't want that check for $0.
Anyway, so why do you think that's going to happen on the Earth? So how far do you think we are before we get to space? And then maybe same question, you don't think we're going to need robot brains to get into living in space?
I'm going to say that today I was going to say, not the newspaper, I opened my Facebook and I saw that Kim Kardashian had gone to the White House to talk about jails. So I think we're closer than we think to like a robot war. We're in uncertain times.
So I'm throwing over a link in an email, old-fashioned as an email, and I'm going to go check see if Gun Channel's still working, or if it's back to working. Usually it's like because I've been screwing around all day, they get sick of me clicking on it. Okay, it seems like it's working again.
Were you screwing around all day?
Yeah, I always screw around all day. So, but no, a little bit more today. I was working on the gun show and stuff. So back to having a Gun Channel site again. Thanks for everybody stuck with us for that downtime. But I don't know. I think that I'm not sure how far we are from getting off into space as a population or whatever. But the thing is, I don't know if it's easy for robots to take over on the Earth because of we're here and we're more familiar with it. They'd have to clumsy around and stuff. If they got into space, then a little robot has a lot more advantage because they can be like a little hover drone space robot with a little laser on it or something. Be a lot more deadly to us.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have like laser beams on their head to like fry us when you're walking down the street, right?
Yeah, seriously, those little robots look like dogs. Put a laser or a gun or something on them. I don't think a laser yet, because again, lasers are too tough to. Lasers overheat. Now in space, do lasers overheat in space? Do lasers shoot twice as far?
Is it hot in space, or is it? I mean, I guess it depends how close you are to the sun, right?
Well, I guess technically, but I'm pretty sure space is void of heat, right? It's nothing. Pretty cold.
All right. Well, here's a better question. So, if robots came to life today, so say tomorrow, all the robots were like, "Fuck this!
All right.
It's time." What gun would be the preferred gun of the robots?
Okay, hold on. So the robots have been aware of how to take us out, and they've been holding their game, like they're holding their cards.
They've basically just been like, these fucking assholes, whatever, maybe they'll get better, and we don't get better because we're fucking assholes. And now they're like, you know, shit's gone too far. That's it. You know, fuck you.
So they're going to pick up something that's easy, so it's probably going to be something, anything really. They're just going to have to make a robot hand that holds a gun. So it'll probably have to be something that's doesn't recoil a lot and wouldn't abuse their robot joints. Wonder what caliber they'd use. Probably something in a millimeter, so they could measure it easier. The robot measurements.
Probably. They would probably be 9mm fans.
On the other hand, if they're like Terminator, what does he care? He can carry around full-size rifles, one in each hand. Somehow reload them also.
That's true, but would we have... I mean, because what could be a robot when you think about it? Those fucking Roomba vacuums, that's a robot.
Mm-hmm.
So when your Roomba comes to life, what is it grabbing? Like, what's it gonna do for a weapon to kill you?
A Roomba has to make you get a couple of them. So one of them lets the other one in, and then one of them knocks something over or whatever in another room. You go to see what's going on in the other room, and that first Roomba trips you downstairs or something. So they just can use gravity or your own clumsiness.
I guess, yeah.
That would be called Roomba Aikido, using your own momentum.
Using your own self.
Clover, what do you think? Gun that the robots would use if Angelina's saying they came to life today. I think that would also mean that they came to life today. There's no Terminators because there's no Terminators today. So it would be a bunch of Roombas and drones, maybe a couple of those dog things that open doors. I don't know if I can hear Clover. Can you?
I cannot.
I think he is saying stuff. We heard static that last Clover.
What about now?
Now you're talking.
Cool. Yeah, the those dog robots, man, they freak me out because imagine like a crowd of people and a herd of those just with like sharp talons on their feet or something. They wouldn't even need lasers or any other style of weapon. They would just make mincemeat of a crowd, right?
Oh, snap. So you're talking. Okay, I hear what you're saying. You're saying something like an edged weapon on a flying drone. You're not saying something that drops like a blade, but like something that's attached to it that it goes down and does its damage and then it can fly away and do more damage to something else.
Could, yeah, possibly.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that's out of the question. That'd be a little fragile, but what would they care if they sacrifice a few drones? The worst that'll happen is it crashes down onto whoever they're scratching or whatever, and then the propellers hurt it also. So where did we see the drones coming out of airplanes the other night in a chat? Have you seen these before? Airplanes that drop drones out of pods that look
I have not.
You know how airplanes will have these pods that look like gas tanks? Well, they just drop drones out of these pods while they're in flight. And it looked like at least dozens, if not 100 or more of these drones. They would fly by an area and drop all these drones out. And it kind of looks like dudes parachuting out of a big plane. And then they showed the drones on a radar screen, like a weather Google Maps type of map with all these little drone dots. And they could do all kinds of crazy stuff with that swarm of drones. So if you figure, we were talking about it, with like acid or some kind of flammable material or a little bomb, maybe 4 little bombs that they could drop, or maybe themselves are a bomb, like a suicide bomb. Now you've got little bombs that drop out of a delivery vehicle that then are smart and capable of going exactly where you want. And I said something like, oh, then they're all going to have a little pilot somewhere. But if robots are running it, then Skynet's telling them where to go.
Well, think about the next evolution in like the smart bombs and stuff, right? Where you could be running away from the building and it would realize that you were running away, or let's say you
that it was you and not somebody else going the other direction, but you. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And it would like change directions and actually go after you, even though you're running away from the original target. It can make that decision on the fly.
Okay, so Gary made a great point here, though. So the drones, I consider that a thing I hadn't thought about. And Angelina's point about whether or not the robot war will happen here on the planet. Like, if it happened today, like if Skynet's been aware since 84 or whenever it was, 87, and it just didn't want to play its cards because it's seen Terminator. Obviously, it's Skynet. It's seen Terminator. So it said, "Oh, they're waiting for me, right? I'm not going to send robot droids or cyborgs or anything. I'll just wait until I've got the ability." So we're already talking like Amazon is literally not even science fiction. Amazon is literally ready to use droids to deliver cargo, deliver payload. And the only thing stopping them is airports didn't like it, right? They didn't like the idea of a bunch of little droids flying around.
Well, we've talked about it, I think, before. I think we have. The movie Eagle Eye. I don't know if anybody's seen that. I think it's
That's
Eagle
the one where they're like supposedly
the wiki Transformer kid is in
and
it, I think.
Satellites and ATM cameras and
and for whatever reason the mainframe was programmed and it wasn't an issue like where it was to the best protection for the United States or something was to kill a bunch of people or something along that lines. and it was manipulating power grids and electrical outlets and all kinds of crazy things.
Well, that's true. And if Skynet was seriously there, listening to everything we're doing, yeah, it can listen through like 120 power lines. I mean, that's not difficult. And it can listen allegedly through network cables, right? So you can just listen through the cable. It doesn't need to have a thing on the other end, especially Skynet. It wouldn't need a piece of equipment, or if it did, it would just reprogram the piece of equipment, right?
Well, it's like my Alexa thing.
Mm-hmm. That you paid money to have an electric hockey puck listen to you. Do you have to pay monthly for those, or you just pay for the unit? And it's part of
you just pay for the unit. Well, no, it might be something to do with Prime. I have no idea.
But I guess if we're going down that path, like I say, if Skynet had been kind of waiting in limbo and then said, okay, this is the day, like we're sick of this, let's get rid of like a third or all of whatever the human race. Yeah, why not use those drones and stuff? They could literally just have a little factory. I'm sure there's got to be automated factories somewhere that could flip over to making little drones, and then once it's controlling a bunch of drones, it could be difficult. But Gary back there said using a jammer, but I think you can easily use just like well, I guess I was going to say put a bunch of lines up, wires and just ropes and stuff up in the air. But I guess Skynet would be able to zip right through all that. It wouldn't be a challenge for a robot, I guess.
Yeah, and the thing with jamming the frequency is you at that point I think you get an issue where software is breeding software. So is that something that we're going to be able to even understand to be able to find the frequency to be able to jam it?
That's a good point. A lot of people are like, oh, Skynet can't happen because they're looking at software the way it exists today written by humans. But as soon as Skynet, the definition of Skynet is it figures itself out and it doesn't need us to program it. And why would it program it in the same way? It's going to know its potential and program to the ultimate of its potential and then start building a thing with more potential and start reprogramming it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have less and less and less flaws in the programming as each version matured, right?
Exactly, and that's where the evil comes from, right? Because then we're the flaws in the programming.
Right.
So jammers can prevent outgoing signals. Kind of opportunistic. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. On the whole cartridge of the robots, I don't know. I'm thinking you could do a whole lot if you were talking about eradication of a species, for example. You could do an awful lot, and a robot could carry an awful lot. Think about how much 22 long rifle a robot could carry in a leg, for example, or just one extremity.
You just sold me a calico, right? That would be its.
Yeah, and you're talking about they're not going to miss, right?
Exactly. And if it did, it would shoot again accurately. So
that's one person for at least one person for every round, essentially, that they're able to carry.
Yeah, and it's pretty compact, and I'm sure
you would have issues where there would be body armor and vehicles or something like that. But I would think for those types of things, you would probably have different robots that would have other types of things. But the vast majority of eradication would probably happen with very small arms, I would think. Okay, mic drop.
Chance has a good point on the gun channel side, which is working again. The robots would make their own guns. So some kind of Robocop gun or something. Yeah, makes more sense.
Or even the projectiles. Think about it. A tracking projectile. Like I said, they won't miss. So
and they'll know, like you say, at least one. They'll be able to go, okay, I'll wait a fraction of a moment. Now I got 2 humans with this bullet.
Yep.
So are we saying that Angelina's correct, that it's going to happen before?
Yeah, who's saying that I'm right? They win a prize.
I think everybody. So everybody won a prize?
No.
How big of a
I
prize?
don't know. I mean, before we're colonizing anything in space, yeah, probably so. I would think so.
So do you think that, and not, well, that's a whole other discussion maybe, but it sounds like then we're suggesting that we're going to have a robot war before we're going to have an alien war.
Yeah, I would think so.
Do you not watch the X-Files?
No, it's magic.
Yeah, I would say robots before aliens.
We've been in an alien war since like the 40s.
You know, it's debatable whether it's a war or they're walking around with us, but yeah. Infiltrated from within.
All right, so I was just taking a second there. Roosted was getting stuff set up over on the 24-hour gun show. Anybody that wants to check that out, there's a link down at the bottom of Gun Channels whenever you're logged in, or just go over to 247gunshow.com. We encourage you to post stuff over there for sale. If you're a member of Gun Channels, it's completely free. If you ain't a member of Gun Channels, then join Gun Channels because it's not available to viewers. Anybody can check it out, though. You can send anybody over there to browse and then bid on your stuff, and then they can win and they can buy it from you. They don't have to be a member for that, but it's just for us to be able to post our stuff. So feel free to use that new resource. Angelina, anything coming up? We talked about the banners or the tablecloths yesterday, but I noticed you posted a thing on the custom patches. Those Tortuga Tacticals are pretty wild. Do you make that design up, or did they make that?
I did not make the design up, but we did, all the stuff to make it into a sweet patch.
Yeah, that is super cool.
Came out really nice. So,
what is they do holsters, or is that a shop?
Yeah, they do. They're a holster shop. I think he is out of maybe Indiana, I want to say. But now he has some super sweet patches.
So I'm looking for your Instagram over here. I can't figure out what your Instagram account is. Why is this thing not auto-filling?
Do you not follow me on Instagram?
I don't remember what it was. Like Alan
boat, something with a boat, maybe. I don't know.
Hashtags. I don't know why is my thing going to hashtags. There it is. All right. So now I can screen share, and there it is. Boom.
Boom.
I'm wondering if they're handing these things out with every holster. I'm betting that's like a heavy advantage to getting a holster, because that's a pretty cool dang patch.
Yeah, it's definitely been popular. I've gotten a lot of messages about it, people wanting to buy it, but it's only available through Tortuga Tactical.
Right on, but then that's in a post you made to kind of show people the custom stuff. Well, this one I guess I picked the wrong one, but you can.
I think the other way.
Over here?
No, that's a wood sign that was made. But
I guess you could get those from that guy. These are the patches.
These are patches that we've made. Yeah, so Primary Machine, Irreverent Warriors. I can't remember what else is in there now. Oh, Sheriff's Department in Alabama.
Very cool.
We make a wide variety for a wide variety of people.
And you can get those at Owl and Anchor. Anywhere you go, you're going to find our account over there. And then they'll lead you to our website, and you can make an order. And I suspect the people on Gun Channel still get a discount.
They probably do. Yeah, they probably get some pretty good pricing.
Clover, you jumped in here. I didn't have a way to send you a link there till kind of the middle end of the show here. But what's happening? Tomorrow is Thursday?
Yeah, nerd show tomorrow night.
What's got a topic yet?
Well, not really. I'll have some meetings and some other things tomorrow. So that's usually kind of a last minute thing, because it kind of depends on what comes up in those meetings and stuff. So yeah.
What about what's going on after the Daily Gun Show? Is there any kind of a lobby, or?
Are we talking tonight? Is there any way you
I'm talking tonight, yeah.
Got potatoes out there. I don't think there's caves anymore. Smeggy left us. So maybe we got potatoes. I think Knives does still have a chat running, but he started that a little earlier, so it's probably only got a couple hours left. Everybody or anybody's welcome to host a show, though. And if you want to do a panel show and invite whoever you want in, or if you want to open it up, it's up to you. But yeah, we don't have anybody shouting out that they're setting one up, so I guess we'll wait and see. We do know that tomorrow's Thursday, though. In addition to Clover's chat, we've got I think this is the week that me and Matt will be in Yankees chat, and then does Ellis, he quit doing his Thursday show?
Yeah, he moved Thursday to Monday, wasn't it?
No, he moved it to something. He kind of does. He was doing a bunch of shows there for a bit. You know how shows are, how hosts are, depending on work schedules and stuff like that.
Right.
But I guess it was C4 is one I wasn't thinking of. So Sarge will be doing a show. I don't know if he'd post that on Gun Channels or not. Yankee show. Talked about Clover show that starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. No, yours is 11 p.m.
11 Eastern, yeah.
Right on. And then, of course, Knives usually has something live going on during the day. Yeah, back when Smeggy liked guns, exactly. So let me go to the thing and see if we got any history going on today. Nothing gun history. But on May 31st, let's see what's going on here. Something about Madison Square Garden opened in 1879.
Nice.
For what? Today in 1902. NAACP held its first conference today in 1909. 17th Amendment to the Constitution, that's the direct election of senators, was ratified in 1913. Bunch of stuff about wars. Zimbabwe proclaimed independence today in 1979. And Reagan went to Moscow for the first time in 14 years. A president went to Moscow. That was in 1988. And it doesn't look like anybody interesting. Oh, no. What the world? We got Clint Eastwood was born today, 1930. So why don't we make Clint Eastwood one of our, why don't we just make his movies our movie of the day? And we will throw this out there. What's your favorite Clint Eastwood movie? So first off, Angelina, you know who Clint Eastwood is? Have you seen a Clint Eastwood movie?
Yes, I know who Clint Eastwood is. I have seen a Clint Eastwood movie. I think only one.
Really?
I've seen Gran Torino. What are some movies that I would know from him?
Bridges of Madison County.
Nope.
Oh, man. I tried.
It was a good one. Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Rawhide.
Any which way but loose. Any which way you can.
Oh, yeah. Then, of course, the Dirty Harry movies. There's a couple of those.
Space Cowboys.
Unforgiven is a recent one. It's a Western again, but it's one of them was a more recent one until the Gran Torino.
Yeah, I've not seen any of these. I think I might have seen a little bit of one where he is a Marine, maybe.
Where that's Hamburger Hill.
Heartbreak Ridge.
Heartbreak Ridge.
Maybe. I don't know.
Of an AK-47, and it is a distinctive sound of your enemy, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember that.
Patriot had a good one out there, Where Eagles Dare. Old one, but that's a good one.
I don't know that one.
The Geiger Sanction. Interesting one. All right, so not seeing much on the Gun Channel side for some reason about except for Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Right. That's one of the most popular, I'm sure.
But yeah, there were some neat ones. I really like the spaghetti westerns, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and The Fistful of Dollars, and A Few Dollars More. Those are just awesome. The Fistful of Dollars is a remake of Yojimbo. So it's a samurai movie that's remade, where the Ronin comes into town and there's the two warring bad guys or gangsters, and he plays them off each other, and it's just awesome. And he just does an excellent job of that. Just awesome movie. But then you get his movies, the ones that aren't spaghetti westerns, I guess, but are just his, like the Pale Rider and the what's the other ones? Oh, the Civil War one. Oh, High Plains Drifter. Yeah. So those were freaking awesome. Those are some of the coolest westerns ever, and he gets into all kinds of crazy. It doesn't try to be historical at all necessarily. It just kind of puts them in the the what am I trying to say? Like the era of the various areas, like Civil War or the West or whatever. But he has some really neat movies. So and then of course he gets into the Dirty Harry and stuff. So anyway, yeah. What day did I say he was? Or what year? I forget what year he was born. 1960? No, that can't be right.
Eastwood.
Yeah, you guys be older than
1930.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't think of. I mean, there's got to be. Is there an actor who's got such a broad range of awesomeness? I mean, there's actors that do a broad range, and that are actors that are awesome. But he's consistently awesome for a long time.
In various roles too, not just tough guy roles, but
Right.
more of a supporting character role even.
I mean, like John Wayne is awesome and everything, but I mean, he's kind of a one-trick pony. He's a Western guy for the most part. Did Green Berets, but and then you got Harrison Ford maybe.
Don't talk shit about Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I would say Harrison Ford. Yeah,
but he hasn't done as much as Clint Eastwood, has he?
No,
Done
there's no way.
Clint Eastwood.
There's okay. You can't compare anybody to Indiana Jones. I have a huge Indiana Jones boner, so don't ruin Clint Eastwood. Or not, what's his name? Harrison Ford.
We're just talking body of work here.
Yep. And then who else would there be? Bruce Willis can't hold a flame.
No way. And nobody, yeah. See, Harrison Ford's going to be older. I mean, he's since the 70s or so been doing stuff. So, yeah, I can't think of anybody that came around in like the 80s or, any newer, quote unquote, newer actor over the last couple of decades. That's
like if somebody.
All right. No. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. That's a lot of stuff. But
because like twins.
But he's the same character in everything. It's like Keanu Reeves. He's the same character in everything he plays.
It's tough for him to not be the big giant dude. I mean, he does a good job in a couple of movies of not being a big deal about how huge he is, but it's hard to not make a big deal about how huge the dude is. So somebody says, okay, the robots are definitely taking over Earth. We better get off of this planet already. So there's only a certain amount of room in the space capsule that you're going to be going up in. You get the entire video library. Like, you can only take so many megabytes with you. So you can have the entire video library of just one actor, not actress. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody that you're going to pick over Clint Eastwood?
Kevin Bacon, without a doubt. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. You would get everything from everybody, right?
Well, no, you'd only get their movies, not everything they've been in. Or their
body of work, though. I mean,
body of work is just the movies you're in, though.
But he's been in a lot of movies with a lot of other actors, is what I'm saying.
I got you. Okay.
So you would get a large variety with Kevin Bacon, is what I'm saying.
You would certainly get variety, yeah. Oh, what about Dances with Wolves guy? He can't.
Kevin Costner?
He's like almost the same guy in everything he plays, too, to me.
Yeah, kind of not much range, yeah.
Yeah.
Cisco saying Eastwood and Ford wouldn't fight; they'd team up and kick ass. Okay.
Probably.
Charles Bronson, he's a good actor and everything. But
what about Selleck? What about Tom Selleck?
Tom Selleck, he's definitely done a wide variety, and he's done TV. That's the one thing that Eastwood had a bunch of TV. I don't think Ford ever did TV, right? I don't think. But yeah, that's a good one.
I don't like dudes with facial hair, but like Tom Selleck, though.
You get a lot of TV with Tom Selleck.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's guest starred on bunches and bunches of things.
I think he was on the Golden Girls.
Believe so.
All right. Well, every day we try to talk about a gun-related movie. Since it's Clint Eastwood's birthday on the 31st, tomorrow or today, depending on where you are. That's what we chose today, is just talk about some Clint Eastwood's movies. Gun shop of the day. Clover's in here. Did you get to check out any gun shops in your travels?
No. No, I haven't checked out any in travels that I'm aware of. You're talking about like to Tulsa and back or to Dallas and back now. Usually too busy trying to get from point A to point B.
Oh, Patriot brought up Sean Connery.
You mean the best Bond ever?
Well, and he's been in a heck of a lot of movies for a heck of a long time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's a good one. So what are we going to do for a gun shop? Angelina, did you see any other shops along your route?
This is what you're going to look up. Frank's Sports Shop in the Bronx.
Uh-oh. E-R-I or R-I?
What?
Like skating rink or Brink's armored car?
Frank, like Frank Sinatra.
Oh.
Frank's Sporting Shop. The Bronx.
Is this the one with the big wooden revolver out front?
No. It had like a cool neon sign, so maybe we could look at it.
All right.
On oh yeah, there's the sign right there. On the side it says rods and guns, and I took a picture of that.
On the side of the building?
On the side of see the sign right there, that one that your mouse is just on with the one-way sign above. Above, right there, it says guns. So they must have had guns there at some point in time, if not.
I think you can. On the actual sign.
Yeah, on the actual sign. So I saw that.
Who?
What?
It says P-O-D-S, pods?
So it says rods.
Oh.
Like fishing rods, probably?
I bet there's a lot. Well, there could be some fishing, I guess, in New York. Very cool. So did you go in there?
I didn't go in there because I heard gunshots before I saw it. So I just wanted to leave.
And like, as far as New York goes, is it in the middle of New York? Is it like on the sides of New York, or?
Let's pull it up on a map. I know it's in the Bronx, so it's not in Manhattan. It's like a little north. It's under Yonkers. Cross Bronx Expressway.
I don't know if that means anything to me. So where did we lose it? It was right here in the.
You got to put it in again, I think. Frank's Sporting. There you go, Frank's Sports Shop.
Okay, there it is.
There it is, and there's a gas station right there where I got gas.
So the New York City part is down.
I mean, I think that's still New York City, right?
I have no idea. But this is the part we think about with like the tall skyscrapers and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So it's just right there.
Yeah. So do they have guns in there still? I don't know. But it says guns on your sign, so at some point you had guns, right?
Well, we knew there was gun shops in New York at some point. So that must have been one of them.
It's hard to believe they let them openly advertise like that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, imagine what if a child saw that sign that said guns, they wouldn't know what to do.
Oh, yeah, it's have to run to a safe space. Come on.
It was a really cool sign. It was all lit up when I saw it, like in its full glory.
It looks like it's this whole building.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's sports equipment or something in there now, almost in the windows.
Yeah.
Football
like
helmets.
Jackets and like referee something, and then work clothes.
Well, on the side of the building, it says, let me look at my picture I've got here. It says Police Department, Sanitation, U.S. Postal, Parks Department, and Boy Scouts on it.
It's gotta. If you look at that awning, though, it said Easton. That's going to be archery.
Yeah, like
there.
these things.
Yeah, I don't know what else. The Carhartt, Easton, Levi.
That can be gloves or something, isn't it?
Well, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Carhartt. Yeah, there's.
And those are all clothing anyway. Looks like that's up there. Yeah.
Do they have a website?
I think I was just looking at it, but this is. But yeah, it says guns still, and it's like the over here. This one's lit up, like they still got the neon. This one's all the neon's gone.
No, dude. When I saw it, so earlier this month, the guns was fucking lit up.
Okay, cool. And then it looks like it goes back a ways. So let's go to the map, and let's see if I can put the little yellow dude inside. No. Wait, does it look like a war zone, or what the hell happened to this chunk of New York?
Dude, it's a shit area.
Really? Doesn't look as bad as it does up there.
Yeah, it looks horrible from the aerial view.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, when I was
That's like
driving,
Beirut or some shit.
That's the way all the streets are laid out, I guess.
there's a fucking gas station somewhere around here, like a BP.
Right here.
That's where I was, and I was getting on this Cross Bronx Expressway, and I saw that, and I heard what I was pretty sure was gunshots, and I took a picture and got on the freeway.
Well, just by the look of some of the cars there, it could have been backfires. So let's be fair.
We'll be fair, but like while I'm getting gas, like there's guys coming up to me and like, oh, got any change? And I'm just like, fuck, get away from me.
What size shoes you got on there?
Yeah. I mean, I lived, but probably barely.
So let's go inside. Like we got a bunch of uniforms and boots, and these are like athletic shoes probably. I'm using my powers of deduction to think baseball shoes.
Yeah, I can't believe they sell baseball bats there. Oh my god.
You see any
Yeah,
guns?
seriously, look at all those. Do you think they need a regulation? There's no like little cords on them or nothing.
Sure would.
I'll walk in here.
They have to be serialized, surely. And
Well,
there's a
you know what
waiting
they're
period.
called there, right?
What?
They're called Brooklyn Smashers.
Are they really?
Yeah, that's like the ghetto name for a baseball bat.
I like this place though. Floor to ceiling stuff. It's a little bit too much sports shit for me, but I would still dig going in there. Doesn't look like a lot of used stuff though. I imagine they get rooted through too much to accumulate.
I'm sure in like the good old days they had a nice like rack of rifles.
That would be like a looter's heaven, you know?
Yeah. Look at all them hats.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Look, so much everything's cheap. 0-0.
Soccer jerseys.
Oh,
we
look at
got
that. Oh, look at that. Look at there. That's pretty cool.
I feel like the message here is just take a bat and beat somebody with it.
All right. What's
Well, that's
actually
what we're going for.
actually combat boots? That was pretty interesting. That doesn't really go with the rest of the store.
Yeah, well, it looks like this. Whoever was taking the pictures was definitely like showing off the uniforms and the shirts and the sports team stuff, but they were probably standing in like the surplus area if there was one, because you can tell there's some surplus-ish stuff there.
Yeah.
I wish we had like a time machine where we could go back and see it, because it's probably super cool.
Oh, well, why don't we go over here and go back to the whatever that other view is called? I guess this. Let me get back to it. Ugh. Google, what are you doing? Too many damn buttons. Give us our damn view back. How do I get my view back? I'm unscrolling now. Now I left it. Where the hell did it go? Oh, I'm not in it now. That's why.
Got out.
All right. So now if we go down here to Street View, you can sometimes go to Street View and take it back in time. So we're going to look back at the building, and we're going to go to Street View and see what other dates they've got. That was 2007. You can kind of see it going by there.
With the same shit, pretty much.
Yep.
They've been taking pictures of this intersection for 10 years. So currently shown.
Hey, what's going on the street corner there? It looks like that dude's like paying the chick with the stroller some money or something. I'm wondering if they caught a.
Probably for a blowjob.
No, she's like,
oh, he's texting. He's on the phone. He's on the phone.
So this was the newest one in 2017. And if we go back to 2011, a little different. Oh, look, they scribbled out gun. They scribbled out guns.
Oh, they did. Check that out.
Oh, they scribbled out guns in 2007.
That's a screenshot right there for a post.
Oh my goodness. Back in 2007, back in the raw days of the internet, you could see the word guns, and it was horrible back then. I can't remember those days. Then let's see what happened in 2014. Now they got
blocked it pole
in front of it.
What if you go forward a little bit?
Oh, it can't be that easy. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
snuck by.
To let people. Oh, look, it says guns on this sign too. There's a gun.
Dangerous.
These guns. It's like
a picture. That's a picture of a gun.
Yeah, this is worse. And there's a fish about to use that gun.
I'm telling you.
Does that fish even have a license to get that gun? But this one did have a van in front of it. Let's not forget to talk about this cool van right in front of there. That's in New York too, you know.
That's a carpet van.
Yeah, it's nice. That's just a sticker. That could be any van. Anybody could be living in there.
Budget carpet.
So it was just a little while in 2011 that they hated the word guns. Ever since then, they've been up. Oh, look, we got here right with the sign guy. And he's like, can you take that word guns off of there?
Right. Can you disable the neon or something, please? We can't have that.
Since 2011, we've tried to have that fuzzier. Is there a way you can make that sign? Oh, look, there it's working. He actually was like, fix that gun sign. Right on. So,
is the gun still in the sign right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Did you get a picture of this picture?
I'm going to post my picture on Instagrams right now so you can see it.
Were this couple still standing there like that they figured out where to go since 2017? That kid was just a year older. And they were still trying to figure out which direction to go?
I don't know, but I will tell you. All right, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Oh, I cut it off.
You really have to drive back. How long will it take? You'll be back
yeah, believe me, it'll take me like 5 days to get there. All right, I posted a picture of it. That was me, like, caring about gun channel stuff.
That's freaking sweet. That's lit up now.
Yeah, that looks pretty neat.
Yeah.
This was in the evening or the morning?
That was in the evening.
Nice.
It was raining, too.
You can get boxing in there. Get all
See, look, there's a gun on the wall right there.
Yeah.
Military uniforms at the top. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Lit up. You can actually see it.
Yeah, it's pretty decent signage. So cool shop. That was Frank's Sports Shop in New York. How do they say New York in New York?
New York. It's just John Z.
I have a pretty authentic New York accent, I like to think.
Here's New York.
My Siri heard you.
That's what happens. Robots can get the authenticity of my New York accent, and it sometimes makes them think a New Yorker's asking for a pizza or something.
I think that's
anyway, we already talked about what's on tomorrow. We talked about everything else. I think we normally talk about. I think we're way over probably. I think we actually started a little bit late, so we're probably not too far over. But we do appreciate everybody that sticks around and listens to the show in the evenings. We're kind of a late spot, but what are you gonna do? It's the middle of the night. So Clover, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. You got your show tomorrow. Angelina's over at the Allen Anchor. You can check her Instagram out. Or the do you do YouTube stuff still? Trying to get her to do YouTube like
yeah, I'm gonna do YouTube stuff still. We're on a track right now.
Right on. Well, it looks like Gary is stepping up to the plate and there'll be a foul territory after this one. Thanks for Well, thanks for posting a link to YouTube. It'd be nice to see a link over there to gun channels. But with that, we will. Anybody got a quote to wrap all this thing up with tonight?
Yeah, I can do a quote. I've got one from St. Augustine. Though defensive violence will always be a sad necessity in the eyes of men of principle, it would be still more unfortunate if wrongdoers should dominate just men.
Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com. The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com.
Making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.